been so long. Today we're gonna be doing kind of a discussion video. It's not gonna be a review. I'm not gonna have any coherent enough thoughts for it to be a review. Today we're gonna be talking about Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. There is a story behind why I have it on my iPad. I ordered the book 2 days ago. I went on barnesandnoble.com, I found the book and I ordered it, and then it said, thing that all readers are afraid of, will arrive in, it was more than 2 days. And I was like, it was more than a week. I was like, I don't think I can wait that long. No, thank you. So I bought the ebook. I wanted to start reading this book ASAP. I was very excited for it. I was just like, I'll just read a few chapters and then I'll put it down and I'll start reading something else until it's here to my house. That didn't work out. I didn't do that. I ended up reading this book in about a day and a half. You know the situation, okay? You know what I'm talking about, alright? You tell yourself, I am going to read 1 or 2 chapters a day, I'm going to get to this page, and then I will stop. I didn't do that. I have no self-control when it comes to books. Heaven help me. I have finished this book before it's even come in the mail. I don't even own the physical copy of this book yet. It'll be in my summer haul, but you don't get to see it today. I'm sorry. Trust me, no one's more sorry about this than I am. This book was worth it. I just need to get my feelings out. Okay, I'm gonna warn you all right now, there will be spoilers in this video. So if you have not read Shadow and Bone, I advise all of you to leave right now. It's not that I don't want you here, because I do, but if I had gotten spoiled for this book, I would have been devastated. I have gotten spoiled for books in the past. Allegiant. From here on out, there will be spoilers in this video, so leave now while you can. Get out of here, go, and then come back when you read Shadow and Bone. This book starts out talking about 2 orphans who pretty much have only each other in the world. And then one day, 2 people come to the door who you later learn are called Grisha. Every single child that is born in this universe has to be tested by Grisha to see if they are Grisha. And it's never really addressed what happens when these 2 children are tested for being Grisha. And you're just kind of left to assume that they're not. And then the rest of the book starts happening. You get to chapter 1 and you find out that Alina and Mal, these 2 orphans, have stayed together since the orphanage and are still best friends, and that made my heart really happy, and I immediately fell in love with them. We learn pretty quickly that Alina has some feels for her friend Mal, and that Mal is pretty much oblivious. Typical guy. There was a cute thing in the beginning of the book. Their caretaker person was talking with the other people there about how plain and ugly Alina is. All of a sudden Mal pipes up and goes, I don't think you're ugly, and it was just like, it just made my heart melt. It's like, oh, these children, please grow up and get married. So obviously I was like immediately Team Mal and Alina. Malina, if you will. They have such a fun, easy banter. I love that in my ships, and when I saw that I was immediately like, I ship that. Let me just jump on that ship and sail away. And pretty quickly they are sent into what is called the Fold, which is basically just a blanket of darkness, which is terrifying to me because I am terribly afraid of the dark. To top it all off, there are these crazy creatures called Volcra that eat people. That is literally my worst nightmare. No, thank you. So while they're in the Fold, Volcra attack them, and one of the characters is taken away, and I was just starting to like him. I feel like this always happens. I get way too attached and then they're just gone in an instant. Alina is about to get attacked, but Mal saves her, and then a Volcra comes out of nowhere and attacks him. She tries to save her friend Mal, and then a Volcra attacks her. And all of a sudden there's this huge blinding light, and of course she passes out, so she misses everything, and in turn we miss everything. I was very much like, oh, the fight! Things are happening! Yes! I was like expecting her to kill one of them, I was expecting her to turn into like a badass. But she passed out. Okay. And she wakes up from this battle. She's carted off by these like soldier people and is brought in front of this man called the Darkling. No one is very forthcoming with information at this point, and I was like, what is going on? The author like did a great job making me wonder what was happening. I very much was interested in what was going on. So the Darkling starts who like saw what, trying to piece things together, and he obviously has a suspicion of what happened, you can tell. Then the Darkling decides to test Alina to find out that she's what's called a sun summoner. She's very quickly carted off to the little palace. Now I'm gonna be honest, please Lord forgive me, I liked the Darkling at first. I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was in for, but he reminded me of other characters that I like. I was bamboozled. So, when she gets to the palace, she meets this girl named Genya. All I wrote down in my notes is Genya is a small, sassy bean who needs to be kept safe, always. And that perfectly sums up how I feel. I love Genya a lot. At this point, Alina is still in denial that she is Grisha. There was a line where she's being carted off by Ivan, being kind of rough with her. The Darkling thing about like basically like be more like careful with her. She is Grisha now. And I was like, yeah, It was such a powerful line. I was so like very excited. That line, I think, killed me a little bit. It was so good. She spends the next few days training, like combat training and learning how to use her powers with Baghra and Botkin. Baghra, I really liked her. She was really sassy, and if you can't tell already, I love sassy characters. They're like my favorite thing. Botkin made me laugh a lot because he talked in the third person, which I thought was really, really funny. He killed me. While she's training with Baghra, you find out that Alina is having a little problem summoning her light herself. The Darkling has an idea to get Alina to be able to use her powers on her own. Get her a summoner, like a little pendant that she would wear. The Darkling wants to get Alina the antler from a special stag, like a magical thing, I think, like a magical mythical creature. It's supposed to be the most powerful summoner ever, and she's all for that. She's like, yeah, if this thing's going to help, then heck yeah. A little while after this, Alina kind of has a breakthrough, and she remembers the day that the Grisha came to test them. She remembers that she was pushing her power down to be able to stay with Mal. She, A, didn't want to leave him, and B, didn't want him to be alone. I just thought that was like the sweetest thing ever. When she realizes that she's been pushing down her power, she's able to let go, and they kind of just explode out of her, and Baghra is beyond happy. And then the Darkling actually finds the stag. Then Baghra comes to Alina and warns her about the Darkling and tells her that he's not what you think he is, that he's going to betray you, which is like... While she's warning Alina, you find out that Baghra is the Darkling's mother. Oh my god. That was another scene that killed me. I was like, it like blew my mind. Yes, then she said the line, something about not wanting him to go beyond redemption. After finding out that the Darkling is going to betray her and basically bind her to him forever, and he plans to enlarge the fold instead of destroying it, she takes off, and good thing that she did. Find out that Mal has been the one tracking the stag this whole time. When he found out that she had ran, he knew that something was up, and so he broke away from his group to go find her. He finds her and then informs her, we're gonna go find this stag, you and me, together, let's go. After weeks of traveling, Mal admits to Alina that he has feelings for her. I had a feeling that he was gonna end up feeling the same way, but to hear him say it and the way that he said it made me happy. While they're having their beautiful moment hugging, Alina looks over Mal's shoulders and sees the stag standing in a clearing. Now, half of me was like, yes, they found the stag! Yeah, go Mal and your tracking skill. And the other half of me was like, run! Freaking run! You know this is not gonna go well. And then, of course, something bad happened. The Darkling shows up and basically all of the shit hits the fan. Kills the stag, he puts the antler collar on Alina, and he drags them both back to the Grisha tent. Mal is a prisoner, Alina is basically a slave. The Darkling informs Alina while they're in the fold, he is going to feed Mal to the Volcra. He gives Mal and Alina one last night to say their goodbyes. I was a sobbing mess. I think I cried like every 2 lines of this part of the book. And then they head into the fold. And in the fold, the Darkling takes hold of Alina and uses her power to guide them through the fold, starts using his own power to increase the fold, and lots of people die. These fictional children, I'm mourning for them, okay? The Darkling displays his power and is now done. He throws Mal over the ship and is basically saying, sayonara, bye. Alina is trying her hardest to get to him and save him because she can hear him screaming and it's horrible. And then she finally basically says screw you to the Darkling. She takes her power back and she saves Mal, and she gives all of the people on board of the ship the chance to take her side, to help her. None of them do. He jumps off the ship, splits the ship in half with the cut, then takes off with Mal. And she just leaves them to the Volcra. And that's pretty much how the book ends. The ending was powerful and I was crying. Okay, so overall I really loved this book and I'm really excited for the next one. Hopefully I can pace myself and wait for the actual hard copy of the book to get here. We will see. Some things about the book, things that I didn't mention in my synopsis type thing. The apparatus. This guy's name, I swear to you, the first time I read his name out loud, his name sounds like Apple Rat. Every time I said his name in my head, I was saying Apple Rat, and I couldn't take him seriously. I personally do not think the Darkling is dead. I don't know how I feel about that. Do you guys think the Darkling can be redeemed? I've run this over in my head so many times, and I truly believe anyone can have a redemption arc. Anybody. He didn't start his out well, though. I'm not gonna rule anything out. Will Alina destroy the fold in the coming books? I think that's gonna be like a book 3 thing. That'll be like the conclusion of the thing, like, the fold is destroyed and peace and happiness for all. Is Baghra dead? Would the Darkling kill his own mother? She seemed to think there was still some good in him. I have a feeling that she's alive. This woman is older than dirt, okay? She is not gonna let her son outsmart her. She seems like a pretty savvy lady. I think she can take care of herself. Is Mal a Grisha? This is a question that I've been asking since like the beginning of the book. I think yes. He is an ungodly good tracker. I don't think that's natural. I could be completely wrong. So overall, 10 out of 10 stars. It was so good. There was not a part in this book that made me bored. There was not a part of this book that I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna skim through this part because oh my goodness. This book was fantastic all the way through, and when I thought it was like fast-paced, it picked up the pace, and that was amazing. So that's all I have for today. Comment down below if you want to answer any of the questions that I asked in this video. If you are a fellow person that has just finished this book and you feel like fangirling, I am your girl. Okay, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!